Hey, what is up guys? It's Galaxytech here, coming to you guys today with a brand new DracoPal deck profile for this current format, post-emergency ban list basically. So, funny story, I actually had a Pepe deck profile to upload to this channel, but on the same day that I recorded it, I discovered the emergency ban list, so that went to pieces quite easily. So yeah, I've got my first lit DracoPal list. I'm not going to post the list in the description because I actually want people to listen to my card choices. So yeah, I would have thought this is pretty standard, but for those of you who don't understand what standard is yet, so 3 copies of Pendulum Sorcerer to start this off. It's basically one of the single best Pendulum monsters in your deck. Gets all your searches, gets things into your extra deck, clears your scales for new Pendulum monsters and all that. At the moment I'm running 2 second donkey, although this is going to change very soon. As soon as I pick up a third, I'm going to main a third, because the deck really needs 3. But at the moment I've only got 2, because I don't know why I've only got 2, but yeah. Then playing 2 copies of Guitarful, because this is your go-to high scale. You also need this for your draw power. Works very nicely with Lizard Draw to get your double draw, generate hand advantage. Speaking of, 2 copies of Lizard Draw, because hand advantage, and it's another high scale. So yeah. Then playing 2 copies of Silverclaw, because this boosts your Performer Pal monsters with attack points, both when it's in your scale and when it attacks. So yeah. It's also a nice dark rank level 4 to go into Nightmare with. Then finally to the sad part of the deck, we have 1 copy of Skullcrat Joker as your Stratos, 1 Monkey Board, and then we've got 1 Part Naga and 1 Turntoad. So I'm going to explain Part Naga and Turntoad. So Turntoad is basically your Mirror Conductor, switches attack and defense while it's in your scale, and Part Naga basically helps you to get over things like Majesty's Fiend because when it's in your scale, because you can't activate monster effects, but you can activate pendulum effects still because they're technically spells. So yeah, and they're all searchable via things like all of these are searchable. Every Perform Pal is searchable by Skullcrat, Monkey Board, Second Donkey, and Pendulum Sorcerer. So yeah. Then for the Draco stuff, 1 copy of Luster because you can only play 1. 2 copies for the time being of Vector Pendulum. I will probably bump this up to 3 when I get a third, but for the time being, 2 is fine. This is probably the most annoying card to draw into because it makes your Draco face-off somewhat redundant, especially if you draw into 2 during the game. So yeah. Then 3 copies of Master Pendulum. Basically, I've just switched the ratio of Master and Luster because having 3 of these now is quite vital, just to when you go for an overextending combo, and you end up with things like, you can end up with a field of Ignista, Dinoster, and Magister. So yeah. Also, this works nicely in tandem with Rescue Rabbit, which I am running at the moment. So yeah. So then I'm running 1 copy of Ariadne because playing Triple Strike and Solemn Warning in the deck at the moment. I'm not playing more than 1 because of the amount of traps I'm actually running. So yeah, I'm probably going to cut this for a 3rd Second Donkey because I don't use it all that much and it's not that useful at the moment. So yeah. Then 1 copy of Rescue Rabbit, as I said, for Master Pendulum. You don't want to touch your Vector Pendulums with this because you need them in the deck for Draco face-off. But yeah, instant rank 4, generally Magister if you've got a dead hand or something. Then 1 copy of Master Chameleon because we got Master Pendulum and we've got Vector Pendulum. When they're in the graveyard, detached by materials, as materials basically. You can use this, special summon it, go for an Ignista or Crimson Blader because I'm actually running that at the moment because it's quite nice. And then running 2 copies of Max C to finish off the monsters because I would try and find room for a 3rd, but just not happening at the moment. It also gets a bit cloggy sometimes as well. Then for the spells, playing 3 copies of Draco Face Off because this is still one of the best spell cards there is today. It's quick play. There's literally no disadvantage from this at the moment. I guess the only disadvantage is when your opponent picks Vector instead of Luster, but that's of little consequence if you can just Pendulum Summon Luster back. So yeah. Then 3 copies of Wavering Eyes because this is still the single one. Yeah, again, one of the single best cards in the format at the moment, both in terms of getting your advantage and against Pendulum Mirror any Pendulum matchup. So yeah. Then finally for spells, as I'm not really playing many spells, so I'm playing 2 Twin Twisters just to deal with back row and other people's scales at the moment. Really useful to bait out their Wavering Eyes, and then with this, and then chain your Wavering Eyes for 4 or something. So yeah. Then for traps, playing 3 copies of Solemn Strike. This card is very expensive at the moment, but yeah, this is searchable via Ariadne. If you just reveal 3 of these, your opponent, it's basically just a free Solemn Strike search. So yeah, and 1 Solemn Warning, and then playing 1 Treacherous and 1 Bottomless because we're playing Rafflesia in the extra deck, which is, I think, a compulsory extra deck card at the moment. So yeah. Sorry for any background noise. I get background noise in my room quite a lot, so yeah. Then for extras, playing 2 copies of Ignista, self-explanatory. This is the single best synchro in the format at the moment, I think. And 1 Crimson Blader because this actually runs over Monarchs quite nicely. Just if you poke over one of your opponent's Monarch card monsters, they can't normal special summon level 5 or higher monsters, which means no tribute summoning at all, basically. So, very useful card. If I had Cyframe Lord Omega, I probably would play it, but I got rid of my Omegas with my Cyframe, with the rest of my Cyframe cards. So yeah. Then playing 2 copies of Dinoster because just Dinoster, it's so good. Protects your scales. Also, I run a nice tech in this deck which works with Dinoster and Ignista, or just any rank 8s, because I'm running 1 copy of Felgrand. So basically, the mentality behind it is instead of running, well, now that Ptolemaeus is banned, you run this instead because this is basically not negating, but it's just more disruptive, especially when backed up with things like Solemn Strike. So yeah, I'm running 1 copy of Felgrand in the extra deck at the moment, just as a card you can make with Dinoster and Ignista. Then playing 2 copies of Magister because if I use one at the very start of the duel, I always find myself wanting another because it gets taken off the board quite easily. So then I'm just playing some generic 4s in form of Abyss Dweller, Castell, Emerald, Diamond Dire, Nightmare, King to search out your Mask Chameleon or Lizard Draw. Generally you want Mask Chameleon because Lizard Draw is searchable in other ways. And Rafflesia to finish that off. So what is quite annoying with Rafflesia is if you draw into any of your trap hole cards, it becomes redundant because, I mean, I actually went to Regionals Cup about a month ago, I think it was. I was playing Pepe and I had roughly almost every game I drew into my treacherous trap hole, which was really annoying because this became redundant very easily. So yeah, but that is the full extra deck. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the extra deck the deck profile, guys. Don't forget to suggest improvements. As I said before, I will definitely be bumping up to 3-second Donkey and probably 3 Vector as well. So I'll reprofile it as soon as I get those cards and as soon as I come up with a build that I'm a bit more happy with. I mean, this build is pretty good at the moment, but it has lost its consistency quite a bit. So yeah, let me know if you like the deck profile. Don't forget to comment, and subscribe for more content. Peace out.